Okay, so can we just chat?
Yeah,
Can we just chat? Because I've had a something. Like, I don't know what to describe what I've had, the week I've had. I don't even know how to describe how tired I am. So I just want to chat.
Okay,
If
sure.
we run out of shit to talk about and it's only been 10 minutes, I got some shit down. But knowing us,
we can
there's
make
no
it work.
conversation we've ever had in life that lasted just 10 minutes.
Show ain't. Sometimes we be talking, I forget we supposed to be recording. I'm like, ooh, forgot about y'all.
Girl, so you want to hear about some of the madness that's happened to me this week?
Yeah, tell me about it.
You know the neighbors' kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
If y'all have watched this show before, you have heard me talk about my neighbors' kids.
They bad.
Bad as hell. And this little boy, same little boy that's peeped in my house.
Yeah, the peeping Tom, as I call him.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sitting in my bedroom. I don't even know what I was doing there because I don't ever really go in my bedroom unless I'm getting ready to go to bed. And I know I wasn't going to bed. But I go in my bedroom and I'm sitting in there. And then all of a sudden I hear a knock. But it ain't where you should hear, like where you would typically hear a knock, like the front door or something. It's on my patio door. And I said, did somebody just knock on my patio door?
That's weird.
And I'm like, and how dumb could they be? Like, you can clearly see all the cameras that is all around my house.
Turned on them because they done walked up to the camera.
Literally. And so I go to my camera and I look at the camera that's over the patio door. It says no one's there. And I'm like, nah, somebody just knocked on that. I said, okay, let me look at events then, which is just snippets of what it's previously seen. So I go to the wrong camera. Actually, I went to the one that's on the other side of the house. And I didn't see anything. And I said, nah, I ain't tripping. So then I go to the camera that's right above the back corner, one of the back corners of my house.
Yeah.
That's almost right by that patio door. And it recorded just enough to see his little black ass go running away. I said, I'm so fucking tired of this kid.
Don't they got a gate now?
They do. That's what I don't understand. Like, y'all
Stay in your gate.
Stay over there in your cage, sir.
Don't call it a cage.
It is. I'm like, just because we call it a gate, it's still a cage.
I feel like it was too tiny.
Well, this kid comes, knock on my patio door and runs off. And like I said before, I've talked about this kid on here before because at least once a year, every summer, that kid is doing something creepy around my house. And like I said, he's old enough to know better.
He ain't confused. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly. But then I say, nah, not today, sir. So I pull up my camera on my phone and I head right out my door. Because I said, y'all are about to piss me off. So
knock,
luckily,
knock.
The dad was sitting at the front of the house.
So he see him.
I said, tell your son to stay off my property. He just came and knocked on my dang on patio door and ran off. And I said, and I can show you the video. And he looked, he's like, oh my God. And then he's calling the little boy. Little boy hear him.
He's scared to come over there.
Little boy is laughing and running. And the dad is chasing him. And I said, oh, this boy got issues.
Why ain't nobody beating his ass?
I said, oh, he got issues. And then after the little boy outran the dad and ran into the house, the dad comes to me, I'm so sorry.
You like, look.
Just like I told your wife last year when they was doing stuff to my house, I don't care about your sorries.
You like, look, now when I'm calling the police next time.
Literally,
I'm
about to start calling the police on y'all because y'all are getting to be a bit too much. I'm over it.
It's above me now because I done went to y'all twice. Both different parents. I done spoke to both of y'all about the same damn badass little boy. The same one. Coming up to him, like, especially, like, he's not involved. I'm like, there has been multiple boys shot through the doors. And the people get away with it. Like, don't, like, you playing with your life.
His life.
I'm like, that's what I'm saying. He's playing with his life. Doing that mess.
I said, I'm
like,
so
don't be doing
tired
that.
of that kid. And like I said, I think based off how he reacted when the dad was trying to, I think he has some issues, like mental issues. But I'm just like, still, that's not my problem. If he, whether he has mental issues or not, y'all should be watching him.
I don't think he got mental issues, because if he had mental issues, he wouldn't realize
he
what
wouldn't
he
have
was
even
doing
ran
was
away.
wrong.
Yeah,
he wouldn't have realized what he would say. Oh, I just wanted to talk. Like, he wouldn't have intentions. Like, this little boy just being a little shit. Ain't nothing wrong with him. He a little shit. That's what's wrong with him.
I'm like, I'm so over them. So that was one day. But something good though.
Oh yeah, what?
I actually was I was pretty proud of my new employer today.
Okay.
So I told you the backstory on what happened today.
Yes,
like
yes,
I can't say
it's
on
too
here
long.
because one is long as hell.
Too much
and
info.
two, it could get me in trouble if I say.
Yeah, too much info.
But essentially there was a report that was done wrong and I'm the one did it, but it turned out I wasn't trained properly to do it. So there's no way I could have known how to appropriately do it. And my boss had told me, like, there's no way you would have known. And I was just like, cool. But I mean, I didn't say cool. In fact, I was like, well, still though, if there's anything I can do, let me know so that I cannot make this as bad of an issue. But my brain was going like, bet. But like a couple hours after I get off the phone with my boss, I see my team's pinging and it's my boss's boss. And I was like, oh shit. What's that sound? Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's when my brain started going.
The saxophones got
So, but when I answered the phone, he was calling me. He wanted to call me himself and tell me himself that what was done with that report was not anything to do with me and my team.
You're like, good.
And I was just like, you know what? I appreciate that. Because a lot of people would have just let me sit there. Yeah. But he was like, no, I wanted to reach out to you directly and let you know that you are not at fault in any kind of way for what's going on. And I was like, you know what? I love it when a boss will call you up and be like, you ain't even got to worry about it. You ain't even got to worry about it.
No, most of them don't. They'll let you sweat bullets for no reason.
And you still end up being thrown under the bus.
You're like, nah.
Girl.
They throw you on the bus and steal your ideas.
It's such a travesty. People don't, I mean, I guess people do understand.
They do. No, we all go through the same mess.
But yeah, so that happened today actually at work. And I was just like, you know what? I can appreciate this. So it made some of the stressful moments that much better.
You like, yeah, they on my side this time.
Now, don't get me wrong. I still do my shit. So there will be times when they ain't on my side.
They on my side this time.
Because I do shit. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I really need to stop pulling at my hair. Do you see me always doing it? Yeah, you be looking nervous.
Because I'm like, one day she gonna pull and some hair gonna come off.
That is true.
That's why I be watching. Nervous, like.
And if that happens
on air, it's gonna freak you out.
If that happens on air, I'm telling you, I'm gonna be devastated.
It's gonna be like the girl with that wig. Embarrassed. You know her wig slid all the way back?
No.
You know in the video, the girl she talking, and her wig just fall behind the couch.
No, I don't know that.
Girl, I'm gonna show you that video later. But you missing out. That's funny.
But one day I'm gonna just run my fingers through my hair, and then it's gonna be a lock there, and I'm gonna be like, out. I'm gonna just look at the camera and tell the editors, if you don't edit that out.
But you gonna be freaked out. I'm like, I don't know why you doing this to yourself.
Well, I've already lost one lock. Not that way.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it'll be a loss that was your fault.
You're right. I'm not arguing with
Sister
you.
locks are thin. I wouldn't be
They
playing
are
around
thin.
like that.
And it's the fact that they're so thin that I am actually considering going to more traditional locks.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But they look so nice.
Right? I love Sisterlocks. And I'm like,
I don't know, because my auntie been having hers for a long time. And she don't got, and she's older and they still holding up real good.
and I'm just like, I think Sisterlocks just fits my face so well.
It does.
So I'm like, I don't.
Because they dang near just look like hair.
I mean, yeah.
You know what I mean. It's all hair.
I wanted to stop myself from being an ass, but I was like,
You know what I mean.
It is hair.
We know it's hair.
I'm such an ass sometimes, but it's okay.
Let me rephrase it. It looks like styled hair. Let me rephrase it.
Yeah, my sister-in-law tells me all the time that she thinks they look like micros.
They do look like micros a little bit from afar.
I think when I first got them, they looked more like micros. Now I think they look more like locks. They just look like thin locks to me.
That's what they are.
Yeah. But I think at that time when I first got them, they looked more like micros.
They was nice and fresh.
Nice and thin. The shoestring locks.
Your hair wasn't used to being free.
I'm telling you, I love my hair so much now.
Girl, shave it off.
Don't, Jade. Stop telling me to shave my hair. Because it's not gonna happen.
I want everyone to do it. Join me in my league, and we can be a league of bald heads having a good time.
Y'all better not listen to this woman. If y'all better check your head shape first.
Now I do recommend make sure that you got the head for it. Because I didn't think about that and it turned out okay. I got lucky. But I still got a peanut ass head. But I'm like, it could
and
be
my
worse.
head is actually bigger, so I don't need nothing bringing more attention to it. The hair kind of
well, no, you see, I got a big ass forehead and everything. It ain't stop me.
Your forehead actually ain't that damn big.
It is for the size of my head.
Okay, Jade. If you say so. I don't think it is.
Well, thank you.
Question for you.
Yes.
Would you date yourself?
Probably. I think I would actually.
Why?
Well, for one, I know how to keep it in my pants, which is a struggle people have. It's a struggle people have. Two, like I'm dependable. I'm there when you need me.
Okay.
Good emotional support. Little hee hard laugh. I can grow with you. We can vibe out. I will never pressure anybody to be more than what they want to be. And I'm not materialistic. I think I'm good. I think I would like me.
You crack me up.
What?
I think I would like me.
I do.
I really wanted to ask Antonio that question too.
Why didn't you?
Because I just thought of it today.
Well, he's fake toxic. I don't think he's really that toxic.
I think we all got our moments.
I think he a lover boy who's been scorned.
I definitely agree with that. I think Antonio has had some heartache and now he's just like, all right, well, I just want to have fun.
At his core, he's a really nice guy. I don't think he's toxic.
Same.
But I don't know. I ain't in no relationship with him now. He might be a good friend, but a horrible person to date. I don't know. I ain't dated him. I'm just his friend. I don't know.
I say no. I would not date myself.
Why?
Not necessarily because of personality traits. Like, don't get me wrong. I think ultimately I'm a good person. I like to vibe out, like all that good stuff. Same shit you said.
Yeah.
But knowing what I know about me and the headspace that I'm in right now.
See, you didn't say date yourself right now. You
Who
just
else would
said
you be?
Objectively. Not based on how you feel about relationships in this moment in time.
Based on who you are right now. Because right now I am that person. I'm just someone that's not interested.
But
so I wouldn't take it serious.
See, I've already settled into my I'm taking mindset because I am. So my shift has already, I'm like, hey, that's what I'm doing. I'm giving everything to these people.
That's fair.
To all
that's
of
fair.
them.
And I'm not. So like if I was to approach myself knowing who I am and everything, I'd be like, that girl is just gone. Have her fun and move on with her life. She ain't trying to be serious with no damn body. Leave her alone.
Honestly, that's what a lot of them want, but they only want somebody who wants the opposite of what they want. Very interesting. And that's both genders. That's not just men.
Yeah, that is.
That
You know what? You know what? You know what? You know what? We are going to stop saying that applies to both men and women, because even though we say it, they never listen to it.
they show don't. They been comments. You raggedy bitches don't know. No, we like, what the hell? We gave you a compliment. What the hell?
And we said women do it too.
We said everybody. You heard what you got, selective hearing, and that's not my problem.
And I say, you know what? We're just gonna stop saying it, because whether we say it or not, it's still seen as we saying it only applies to
So
men.
are y'all saying that
You
only
raggedy
women? Like,
bitches.
oh goddamn, we literally didn't say that.
Literally, when you said women do it, I was like, you know what? It never goes anywhere. So stop.
I'm still gonna say it to say I said it. They still gonna say I didn't say it though, and that's fine.
What is something you have figured out in life?
The biggest
That
thing.
was a big gulp.
I'm sorry.
I know that was in the mic.
That shit is good. It's good. Sue me. God damn it, it's good.
And we ain't telling y'all what it is because they ain't paying us.
But lip smacking goddamn good. But
I was goon.
all in the mic.
Anywho,
Oh, girl, what
what's something you have figured out in life?
It's sad but true, but life ain't fair, but favor ain't fair either. And that's just
what I said was
Ooh.
the thing that I figured out in life, and again, just my opinion, I figured out that life isn't meant to be figured out.
You just live in it.
Yeah, just live your life. Why do we have to find the meaning in everything? What's the meaning of life? The meaning of life is live it.
The thing is, this has been explained multiple times, that we are bits and bops of atoms, just like everything else. We are not better than a tree. We just happen to be more complex. But that's the same way the tree just living, helping us breathe. It's just out there vibing, providing shade and shelter, just vibing. And we just out here destroying everything. But
yeah, that's my take on life right now. Is I'm not trying to figure out my life. I want to just live it.
You're gonna go crazy. You're gonna drive yourself crazy trying to figure out, well, why did this
Why
happen
do I
to
exist?
me?
I exist to live my life. However that means I live my life, because that's my choice.
Well, the thing is,
But
people kill me like you didn't choose to be alive. So what makes you think you can understand what your purpose is when this ain't even a life you chose? This the life you got. So
I agree with that 100%. But it's like I don't have like I figured out, I don't know, the value of saying no. Like, yes, I have figured it out. How did I figure that out? By living life. I had enough people kick my ass that now I'm like, you know what? Nope.
That's how I figured out life ain't fair. Sometimes you do everything right and fucked up shit will still happen to your ass.
Man, I'm telling you.
And because I was like, life ain't fair. But then I said, you know what? When I receive favor, there's someone else who thinks my favor ain't fair. Life ain't fair.
There's gonna always be somebody that thinks
Your
that
favor
any
ain't
success
fair.
that you have isn't fair. Some of it, maybe not the craziest thing, but one of the most fucked up things is a lot of times it's your friends and family.
Yeah.
Like, it's the very people that's supposed to love you unconditionally.
Because fair is subjective. What's fair depends on who you talking to and what the situation
and what it means for them.
Life ain't fair. All you can do is try to put the cards in a deck that suits you. That's all you can do.
I tell
life
people
ain't
all
fair.
the time when they ask me something, and I'll say, like when something bad happens, I'll go like, it's the hand we're dealt. I'm just trying to play it. Like that's I'm just trying to play the hand I'm dealt. I think that's what we're supposed to do. We get We're born into whatever life we're given. Our parents raise us as best they can, hopefully. And then we choose what we do after that.
And we just pray that at least if we make mistakes, we make different ones. Because that's all you can do. Like, I just don't want to make the same ones. I'm sure I'm going to make some because I'm only human. But I at least want to make different ones.
So I wanted us to talk about something.
I don't like the tone of that. Seems very nefarious.
No, it's I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Okay,
but
cool. 'Cause you'll throw me some crazy shit.
You're right, I would.
Thought this was on Simon.
So I asked a question on Reddit today.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've actually asked a question on Reddit. And I wanted us to also answer it for ourselves.
Okay.
And the question is, if you were honest with yourself, what would you say is your most toxic trait? And actually quite a few people commented. And for me, I was going to say something like, overanalyzing. I overanalyze everything to the point where sometimes I won't even make a decision. And I'm just like, that's not good. Cause some shit is important.
You gotta make one decision.
And I'm just like,
but I get that because
I can't.
You're just like, it's too much. I'm just gonna not
Too
do
much.
shit.
Then I get decision fatigue, and I'm like, I cannot.
At least not today. I'll come back tomorrow. I ain't got nothing today.
But then after reading people's comments, I started thinking about some of this stuff, and I was like, actually, if I had to describe my most toxic trait, is I have an anger problem.
Yeah, you do need to work on it. But I don't know. Yours isn't in the traditional sense, though.
What do you mean?
Most people have anger problems. It's just petty, small stuff. I think what pisses you off the most is injustice. You like Batman.
So you saying I got vigilante traits?
No, it's just injustice.
Yeah.
Pisses you off. But only if it's injustice towards you.
True.
That's what pisses you off.
True. When it comes to other people, I might get annoyed. But if it don't impact me, I'm like, if they ain't mad, well, I'm mad.
See, you know what my most toxic trait is?
What?
I too easily get over things. And people go, oh, that's good. No, it's not. Because I can literally be like, eh.
I don't know, but like I was drinking this. Sometimes you have stuff too sweet, you get like that.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Oh, your cheeks be.
Yeah. So never mind that ugly face. Good Lord. But yeah, I think because like, oh my
I can let it go. I can let anything the hell go. And it's a toxic trait because I fear nothing because the consequences don't scare me. Because I feel like, it's kind of. I'm surprised I'm not more reckless, to be honest with you.
I actually am too. I know I've gotten so angry, especially at my apartment. I have gotten so mad. I kicked a hole in the wall. I was so mad. I don't even remember what I was mad at. But I was so fucking mad. I threw my laptop one day.
Girl, you be doing crazy shit. I would never throw my own laptop. I don't care how mad I get.
Jay, when I say like seeing red, mad, I was mad.
I don't ever get that mad.
And I was trying to do something on the laptop, and it was going so slow, and I was in a hurry, and I needed to
old
go.
People mad.
And it wasn't doing what I wanted it to do. And before I knew it, I slammed that laptop shut so quick, and I just picked it up and just slammed it on the floor with both hands. And I said, oh, that's a problem. I said, because you ain't got money to replace that.
See, yeah,
luckily it survived.
My sensible side would outrule any emotions like that. I'm like, this is not a $200 laptop. Think about this.
Exactly.
Before you thought, I go, you got an assignment due next week.
Yeah.
Remember that. Now go,
I
you
have
right.
been pretty angry before. And then I told the story about the road rage car thing. And that was not the first time I'd done. It's the first time I took it that far, but
in
not the
today's
first
world,
time.
that's real dangerous. You shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah. So that's why I will, see a therapist, because I'm like, I think I might have an anger problem that I need to get situated. So I would say that's probably my most toxic trait.
What other people say?
Somebody said that they can convince themselves that overthinking is the same thing as solving the problem. And I said,
I can
actually,
see that.
yeah. I said, I do that too.
I can see that. That's a good one. I can see that.
That is good. So this one, somebody had said something about procrastination. And I was like, that's a really good one, because I know I do that too.
Because I feel like I get better results. I have talked myself into thinking that I do better under pressure. So procrastination works for me. It don't work for nobody. It literally don't.
All it does is cause you so much stress. And I say, I
spike
do
your
it.
cortisol. And that's why you got a gut.
Yeah,
but
here it is. My most toxic trait, probably delaying things by convincing myself I work better under pressure, which is mostly just procrastination in a suit. And I'm like, yeah, I do it all the time.
But the thing, because I keep getting results, and this
yeah,
is the problem.
I'm like, but the reason I keep doing it is because it keeps working.
But then I thought one day last time, I said, if you got such good results doing it quick, wouldn't you get better results if you took your time? And then I said, you know me, that sound good, but I ain't gonna do it. So,
ooh, most toxic trait, I push away people who are good to me and latch onto people who are shitty.
And why is that?
I've been that.
I'm too selfish for that.
I've been
you
that.
better love me right or get out. I'm too selfish for that shit.
Most toxic trait. I talk over people. I know I do. I'm just so enthusiastic about things. And I'm like,
I have no comment.
I do it, but I'm doing it because if I don't, I'm going to forget it.
Me and you both do it, and we need to work on
that
it.
was I was laughing about this. I don't even know if you realized it last time we was recording in one of those episodes.
I know, and neither one of us can stop it. Even if we aware of it, we can't stop.
I kept starting my sentence, and then you kept cutting me off, and I kept going, but see,
I don't mean to.
And then at one point, I just started laughing because I was like, I'm never going to get out what I'm going to say.
Gosh, why am I this way? I don't know. I'm getting better at it, though.
But here's the thing, though. Both of us is like that. Here's the thing why I really don't mind that. I know some of our viewers and listeners don't particularly care for it. But here's why I don't mind it. Because when you do that, that's how I know you are really engaged in the conversation.
Because we have the same problem. If I don't say it, I'm going to forget this thought. It has to come out or it's gone.
I'm like, Jay was feeling this conversation and she needed to get out what she wanted to talk about.
And also, we do not script our conversations.
Yeah, so we don't know what each other is going to say. We don't know.
If we don't say it, it's gone. There is no script. We do not script our conversations.
So, yeah, I just remember recording last time, and I was just like, I ain't gonna never say what I got to say.
But you did,
because it was, and I just thought it was funny how I kept going. I
don't know, and I didn't realize you doing none of it. None of it.
And then I just started laughing. I was like, she enjoying the conversation.
I don't mean to, Jocelyn.
I know, that's why I don't take offense to it.
But I know why people hate it, because a lot of people do it because they're bitches and they just literally want to talk over people.
Yeah.
They just want to be little assholes.
Somebody said being unnecessarily secretive is their toxic trait. And I said,
I can see that, because why?
Yeah, why are you being so secretive?
Especially if it's to the point where you know you're doing too much for no reason.
So then somebody...
Is it trying to be mysterious? Like, what are you...
Somebody had the nerve to tell somebody that they toxic trait that they said about themselves was not a toxic trait that anyone would have.
You are a toxic person. How the hell? How you gonna tell somebody their lived experience is not real?
So
Like
somebody
what?
said on here, so the question was, what would you say is your most toxic trait? Somebody said, I try too hard and care too much.
How is that not toxic?
And somebody commented on it and said, that is such an unself-aware answer. And then somebody replied to them and said, right? It's like in a job interview when someone says their weakness is being a perfectionist. And then they're like, yeah, no one's most toxic trait is that they care too much. And then somebody was explaining like, yes, you can care too
You
much.
can.
But then they came with logic though, and we got to give them this when it comes to it. They say, as someone who cares too much, a lot of these things stem from another issue and is labeling it as caring too much.
But that's not what it is.
Usually caring too much means you haven't worked through the actual issue yet. Hence why it's unself-aware. And then I actually did comment. I said, actually, I don't disagree with that part of your logic.
Because when they first said care too much, my brain instantly went, they care too much about what people think for a reason, which is toxic, because it's not that they genuinely care. It's damn near like an impulse to care about other people, which is not healthy. That is toxic.
Which is the trait. The trait itself isn't the caring too much. Yeah. It's what's causing them to care too much.
Yeah, the caring too much is a symptom. It's not.
So then that makes the people that challenged it right. Because it's like, it's not the caring too much. That means you're not even aware of what the actual issue is.
And they're toxic as their assholes. They could go, what?
I would have ignored it. I wouldn't have said it.
The response should have been, if you had a response, should have been, yes, and the real thing you need to figure out is why you care so much. That would have been a good answer. Like, you know what the real thing you need to figure out is why you care so much. Exactly. That would have been a valid answer. To be like, you know what? Yeah, that's the real toxic trait. Like, yeah.
I agree with you.
That would have been a better answer. Instead of attacking them, what type of shit is that?
Calling them unawares.
You unaware piece of shit. How dare you get on here?
Figure out your issues, bitch.
We are here to vent,
you
but
didn't
only
even answer
intelligent
the question.
people can vent, not your stupid ass. Like,
just like the U.S. challenging doing a damn symptom when we asked for the illness.
Read a book, bitch. Is what they might well have said. Like, my God.
Like, dang. That's her reality still. Maybe she ain't there yet.
And then it's like, you don't even know the age of this person. This person might be 14, right? And you attacking them like they legit might be like a high schooler. They don't
having to look up the word unself-aware.
Like, they don't have the emotional intelligence to fully know sometimes. God damn.
Yeah, and I commented on that, said I was the same way, cared too much, wanting to please everybody. And I said, yeah, I had some self-esteem issues.
Because we already talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
It went south. But we talked about it.
Every time.
But again, it is a symptom of what the real issue is. But we ain't gonna talk about it again. We still getting heat. I ain't gonna bring it up again.
But you ain't thinking people pleasers are manipulators?
They are. I meant what I said.
There's something wrong with you.
And I've said what I meant.
So this story, I wanted to get your take on.
What is it?
Because I believe that it was decided in the comments that this isn't even a real story. But I still thought it was interesting.
Why do they think it's not a real story?
Excuse me. I don't remember.
How is it debunked?
I don't know. They just said it sounded like AI.
Which it could be. The bots be working.
I mean, everything on the internet nowadays could be AI.
Yeah, the bots be working. Now. I ain't gonna call them bots lazy. That's what I'm never gonna call them. Because they be working.
Overtime. Okay, this says, this is still pretty fresh, so I'm trying to figure out if I'm overreacting. Mm-hmm. I've been interviewing with a mid-sized company for about 2 months. 4 rounds, a take-home case, the works. Last Thursday, I got an offer, and it came in about $18,000 below what we'd discussed as the floor in my first call. I declined politely, thanked them, and said that the compensation wasn't aligned with what I was looking for. Normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
I've turned down offers before, nothing ever happened. The following morning, my current manager pulled me into a meeting and asked if I was actively looking. Apparently, someone called our main office line and asked to speak with HR about verifying employment for me. My manager intercepted it somehow. He wasn't angry, more confused, and I panicked and said it was probably an old background check from a rental application. I don't know for certain it was the recruiter, but the timing is insane, and I haven't applied anywhere else recently. I never gave this company my current employer's name directly, but it's on my LinkedIn and I listed the company name on the initial application. What would even be the motivation here? Spite? Is this something that actually happens? And more practically, is there anything I can do about it if I can't prove it was them?
My thought process, I don't think it was them being like nefarious or anything. I think they wanted to verify your employment when they gave you an offer. I don't think. Now, mind you, would I've done that for somebody who didn't accept?
No.
No. But we
Um
don't know how these people work, because it could have simply just been that
it could have. Yeah, they could have went ahead and started the process
process.
thinking that he was
Or say
gonna
yes, so they just
yeah.
trying to get ahead of things. I don't think it
Yeah,
was
I can see
any.
that. I can
I
see
don't
that.
think it was anything nefarious or anything like that. I don't think they were like, "Oh, you gonna turn us down? We're
Well, we
telling
gon'
your boss." My thing is, why didn't he try to negotiate if you've been interviewing with them for 2 months? You didn't even try to negotiate the pay. You just
well,
immediately turned it down without even any negotiations. That's crazy.
well, it sounded like they had already discussed the payment, and they said that they give them at least 18,000
And I
more
just
than
would
what
have
they
been
offered
like,
them.
"Hey, what
Yeah, I
about
wouldn't have said
what we
something along.
talked about?"
I wouldn't have said what he said when he was like, the
Too
pay
low.
didn't align with what what he wanted. I'm like, that's not what we
Because those
discussed.
are two different conversations. There's a difference between, "Hey, this ain't what I want," and, "Hey, we actually did
Yeah,
discuss
like
this and
y'all
this don't
told
line up."
me. Yeah, so I'm like,
I would have had a conversation about that. Not rude or anything. Like,
no,
I don't know if you, because the thing is, just because the manager you're interviewing with says that doesn't mean they communicated that with HR. And it could just be a lack of communication.
that is very
It
true.
could have just simply been that. And HR didn't even know that y'all discussed that.
And
So
at
it's
the
so.
same time, and I say it all the time, closed mouths don't get fed. The
I would
whole
negotiate.
purpose,
I wouldn't just
the
say no
whole look, the company is trying to get as much out of you for as little
as
as
possible.
possible.
That's just the
So
truth.
if they came back 18,000, they see it, they might be literally just seeing if you would have took it.
Hmm.
Because again, they want as much out of you for as little as possible.
I just find it crazy. I'm not interviewing nobody for 2 months, doing take home studies and everything, and not even negotiating the pay. Like, I done put too much effort into this mess. Y'all done finally gave me the damn job. The least I'm gonna do for myself is try to negotiate the pay we agreed upon. If
Exactly.
nothing else,
At the very least.
at least what we agreed upon.
More PTO days, more something.
Something that it would equate to that.
But yeah, I was like,
Yeah,
mm,
I just think this person, well, I think the company did a solid to themselves, because then he sat there and didn't even have the courage to tell his current employer that he, like, that ain't nobody
now,
worth your
yeah,
time. That ain't
now,
nobody worth your time. I'm saying, y'all dodged the bullet. Good for y'all. He
now,
ain't worth
yeah, lying
nobody
to the
time.
employer. I don't know that I would have done that.
I wouldn't have lied. I'd have been honest.
Um,
I'd have been like, yes, I put
well,
in.
let me change that.
I would.
If I were to lie about it, I damn sure wouldn't be like, oh, it's a
Rental
rental application, an
application.
old one at that. And I'm like,
Well, first of all, I don't know what his role is in the company. Because depending on his role, he probably should have told them before interviewing with anybody, depending on what the hell his role
I
was. We don't
probably,
know his
if I was
role.
gonna lie, I'd probably say like, identity theft, something like that. Like I haven't applied anywhere. Let me, like, I don't know.
He ain't even he don't think quick on his feet. He just giving y'all all the red flags. This ain't nobody you want.
Maybe it is, because he clearly don't like lying. He ain't good at it.
Because you know me, you would have came with a lie so fast. Sometimes the shit that come out my mouth, my brain ain't even processing it. It's already out my mouth.
And then now I got to go repent.
And then I go, good save, bitch, good save.
Mm-hmm.
It's
now,
happened
don't
to me
get me
many
wrong.
times.
Now, don't get me wrong. I try not to lie. I don't like lying to people.
But sometimes.
And to be honest, I don't think most things are worth lying for.
I wouldn't say necessarily lying. Sometimes you got to give yourself time to fix a situation. Mm-hmm. And this is only at work, mind you. This is at work I do this shit. This is not in my day-to-day life. At work is a tricky place.
It really, really is.
Well, work is different from real life. Like, work is a tricky place. Oh, I don't miss corporate. Baby, I don't miss corporate.
Girl.
It was nothing but political foolishness. I don't miss corporate at all.
But...
baby, I don't miss corporate.
But
I don't miss them slacks. I don't miss the bullshit. I don't.
But everyone has their downside, though. Mm-hmm. Like, I could go back to pharmacy, which is more demanding, not just mentally, but also physically, especially when I worked in the retail pharmacy.
Just a shit show.
Well, even just the retail pharmacy of the hospital, when we had to stock our own pop machines and all this stuff, carrying all those cases of pop.
That is crazy.
Yeah, we had to do that ourselves.
Outside.
No,
I have been spoiled. I will say, I will admit this about my pharmacy experience. I have had some pretty good pharmacy. Now I tried to do retail just to be well-rounded. I said, fuck that. I don't want to be real. I'm going to go right on back to inpatient because that's where it's cool.
When I worked the outpatient retail pharmacy of a hospital system, we were in charge of stocking our Coke machines. So we had to place our orders for the Coke machine. We had to move all the hospital should have had that Coke in there and restock it. The chips, the candy, we had to order all that stuff and stock it all. So yeah, I would carry heavy cases of pop.
My job would never ask me to do such a thing. And I wouldn't fucking do it.
And we had to do our...
First of all,
we had to go to the bank to deposit money.
What is this, a clothing store? Like, what is going on here?
I have had to walk to the bank before to go deposit the money.
I had to do that when I worked retail. Is it clothes retail?
Oh, no, we were not clothes pharmacy.
Because I'm talking about when I, like, wet seal and shit retail.
Oh,
that's what we had to do.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm like, at a fucking hospital?
Yeah, that's what we had to do.
What type of ghetto? Now, at the hospitals I've been at, now you would have to count and push it in the safe with a witness and all that stuff. But that was management's job to handle that shit. That
technicians did that too.
They was exploiting the fuck out of y'all. Y'all was doing the vending machine.
We was.
They was exploiting the hell out of y'all. That's what they was doing.
But yeah,
I've been pretty spoiled and luckily I've had a jolly good time.
But that's what I mean. There's drawbacks to it all. You got the more physically demanding jobs, which has its issues. Then you got the more mentally demanding jobs, which has its issues. And usually the corporate jobs is your more mentally ones. Well, like, and not to say that the physical ones.
But you sitting down and you in a nice ergonomic chair and everything, but you sitting there like, I used to have pounding headaches by Friday. I'm like, these people are going to drive me. And then it's to the point where, like, you know, the phone, the little ringtone that work. If I heard that phone, when I tell you,
instantly.
I heard that shit. One time I was in my house and I thought I heard that phone. I would answer my cell phone like I'm at work. It was doing too much. And I'm like, oh, switch, Jade. You ain't working no more.
I told you that when I worked at one of the pharmacies I worked at, the 6-year mistake recorded me talking in my sleep. And I was telling somebody we didn't have their prescription and we need to order it. And I was just like, please tell me I did not just talk in my sleep about work. And he's like, yeah, you said we didn't have the prescription. And he said that I heard him say, what? And I said, we don't have your prescription. We have to order it.
Well, that's because you did retail. I am not fighting, but I briefly did it. You know what I discovered from briefly doing it?
That you didn't like it?
Americans don't read, comprehend, or listen.
Dude,
and I said, my patience is wearing real thin with y'all acting like somebody didn't. And the thing is, what they don't realize is every day you do a different thing. So I was the bitch on the phone yesterday when you called here and you asked about this shit. I told you this on the phone, and now you here, and now I'm the bitch at the window. And I know this was you, but you don't know this is me still. Cause you thinking everybody doing different shit. Now the bitch on the phone is now the bitch at the window. And I literally told you this fucking yesterday.
What's the craziest thing a customer ever said to you?
That if I get in a car accident and something bad happens to me, just know that is God rebuking me over what I told this person.
That's crazy.
I mean, like, and I'm sitting there like, cause I'm at work. My first immediate thought was,
what the fuck?
My first thought was, I am too covered by the blood of the lamb. So who are you talking about? Cause God ain't smiting me. But you can't say that at work. You can't say that at work. That was my immediate first thought. Like, who?
Do you know I wore my shirt that says "It's me and God versus whoever want to lose."
Okay.
I wore that at work yesterday.
That's
and
crazy.
On camera.
That's crazy. Girl, you've been working at home too long. That's crazy.
I said it's me and God versus whoever want to lose.
You know good well you can't wear that at work. You can wear it in life.
I did. I think I wore that shirt at Myers and Stauffer too.
You lucky ain't nobody told on your ass. Because you know it's always one mofo that'll tell.
Look, I also wore a shirt at Myers and Stauffer that said, I hope karma punches you in the face before I do. Remember, that's the shirt I had on when I met with one of the partners. And you said, now why would you wear that shirt?
Exactly. What the fuck you got that on for? Like, why are you doing this?
And honestly, when
you know you got just a plain ass shirt you could have put the fuck on. And what other shirt you used to wear that was buck wild crazy?
There
was a shirt advertising another similar company. What was? Oh yeah, you was wearing your Elevant shirts.
Oh, Elevant, yeah. At Myers and Stauffer, yeah. And I wear Myers and Stauffer shirt at Med Impact, yeah.
I'm like, you know that is a competitor. Why are you wearing this goddamn shirt?
Because it's comfortable and I want it to.
Put a hoodie on overneath.
No, I did do that with the Karma shirt though. It just didn't work. I did put a shirt on over there, a sweater on over there, because I was like, oh shit. Because I think I literally just woke up and picked a shirt.
Yeah, and when you say yeah, and I was like, now why you got that shirt on? That was my immediate thought. Why you got that shirt on?
So yeah,
you should have turned that motherfucker inside out. Why you got that shirt on?
Upside down.
Boy, you turning me inside out.
Round and round.
A good song.
Ain't it?
Upside down,
you turn me. Oh, such a good song. Anyway, yes, I've worn some crazy shirts.
You do. And then you done bought me some of the damn crazy shirts.
I have bought you. Oh, wait now. Don't act like you ain't bought me some crazy shirts. And actually, it wasn't the Karma shirt that I wore. It was the shirt that you bought me, the petty shirt.
Now look, I like that shirt.
Oh, now it's okay because you like that shirt.
That's not the punch in the face shirt.
It wasn't the punch in the face shirt. I have worn that to work, but I didn't wear that to the partner meeting. That was the petty shirt that you bought me that I wore to the
And I still was like, why you got that goddamn shirt on?
You did say that. I can't front. She did say that.
That was not the time and place for that shirt.
I was not thinking about my shirt when I put it on. And you
seen a shirt and said, ooh, a shirt.
Literally.
I don't do, first of all. Now, you laughed at me about them fucking capri pants.
Sure did. And I'll still laugh at you about them capri pants. I know my hair is probably looking all kinds of jacked up now.
But even I wouldn't wear nothing that crazy. And I had on Birkenstocks and them damn capri pants.
Every time I see a pair of Birkenstocks now, I think about you.
Not them leather ones, because I threw them in the damn trash. They pissed me off so fucking bad. And I ain't bought another pair since. I said, fuck this.
I keep seeing them like lookalikes. And I be like, fucking Jade.
Shoes fucked me. Water bottle in it. Spirit crushed.
Goodness, it was hilarious. I thought it was the funniest thing,
It
and I
was-
wasn't even there.
It was the word. And I'm glad you wasn't there. I can hear you cackling now. Oh, you know how you so bad you get up and hope nobody see you.
Look around. The way, man, yeah, it's a good thing I wasn't there because people would have knew you fell if I was there. I'm telling you, people would
It
have.
happens so fast.
My laugh would have been so loud it would have pissed people off there early in the
Jocelyn,
morning.
it happened so fucking fast. I didn't realize I failed till I went to get up. I was like, God damn.
I got this thing that I want to add, this story. Kind of want to get your take on it.
Okay, what is it?
It says, I started my job about a month ago and a new girl started 2 weeks after I did. I like talking to her and I have a lot of empathy for her because her mom died a week ago while she was there surrounded by strangers. I talk to her daily, but she constantly comes back from break 2 to 3 minutes late, and no one else on the assembly line does. People are noticing and gesturing to each other and making comments about her getting written up. I personally couldn't care less. I watch another guy break 3 rules a day. It doesn't affect me, so I mind my own business. That said, would you tell the coworker or let her get herself fired? And then this person says, I've played out telling her in my head that other people are noticing and making comments, and in my head she asks who is talking to her, and inevitably that creates drama. What would you say to that?
I would tell her, be like, look, girl, I don't care, do you? But this is what I'm hearing. They're not talking to me. I am hearing these conversations. They're not talking to me or confronting me about you. I'm overhearing these conversations. Just saying. I'm just letting you know. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just letting you know
that this is what
which
people
means
are saying.
More than likely they have already went to management.
Mm-hmm.
Just so if a FYI, people watching you and you knew. So
what?
FYI. What happened?
It sounded like you said AFYI.
Oh, FYI. You know,
like,
you being watched. They're clocking your stuff. So come back on time. First of all, the fact that someone has to tell this girl to come back on time in the assembly line is crazy. Because it does impact other people. This is why they're upset. It's not that they give a fuck about her.
Because at first when they said 2 to 3 minutes, I was like, it's 2 to 3 minutes. But then when I read assembly line, I said,
no, fucking everybody up.
No.
I'll be telling on your ass too. I'll be like, she late every day. She fucking up the whole assembly line. She fucking all our numbers and all our shit.
I mean, it's no different than working at a call center. When it's time for you to be on the phone,
you have to be on that phone.
On the phone.
You can't come back 5 minutes late from lunch. Somebody getting cussed out on your call that you was supposed to be on. And they looking at you like, this was your call. It was a yo queue.
Mm-hmm.
But it bounced to my queue because your ass wasn't there. Like,
well, maybe I'm the asshole because I said I wouldn't have said anything.
I just would be like, hey, just to let you know, I ain't telling you what to do
just
now.
Because
if you want to be late, that's your business.
Just because I talk to people at work does not mean that we are like cool like that.
I'll tell her. Because this might be her first job. We don't know. Maybe she don't know. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just I just don't like getting involved in other people's shit. I'm like, she know what time she's supposed to be back here. If her ass continue to do it, maybe she need to be fired. I'm sorry your mama died.
I would just tell her, like, hey, by the way.
But I'm like, it has nothing to do with me, so I ain't.
Because you know how warehouses are. Management ain't gonna confront her. They're just gonna fire her one day. They're not gonna say anything to her. They just gonna fire her.
But at the end of the day, she putting herself in that position.
Because if you're doing it I will say some people really are like that. Like if no one says anything to them, they think they're not doing anything wrong because they're not in trouble. Like some people getting in trouble is the only way they fucking learn. They don't have the maturity to just be on time just because they know they're supposed to be on time. Like, they don't have the maturity for that. They have to be told.
And even if you tell her,
so
you
then she get
know,
fired, that's on her. Like, look, girl, maybe if you didn't know, now you know, and I told you. So if you fired, that's on you.
well, my thing is, you tell her, and you tell her in a way where it's like, hey, I don't care, but this is what people are saying. One, you know she gonna think you actually saying it too. And two, now she is gonna be mad at everybody else too, which then now we got drama because I told her trying to be a friend.
Because I'm not gonna tell her who said it. Now that's messy.
Yeah.
Well, who said it? No, I ain't telling you. No, we're
that's
not
what
doing
this poster
that.
is saying. He's like, I just feel like she just gonna be like, who said it?
Well, if you feel like if her only concern is who said it, then hey,
maybe she need to be fired.
If she not worried about, wait a minute, what are they saying? Especially with her being new, you should be concerned about everybody wanting to get your ass fired, and you knew. You've been there all of 2 fucking weeks, and they already trying to get your ass fired. You should be concerned about that. You ain't even got paid yet, bitch. Like, I
and that's why I'm like, her in the poster can't be that fucking cool. Like,
I just think she feels sorry for her. She's confusing that with friendship. I think she just feels sorry for her.
I'm sorry. I'm just in the business of minding my own business. If she late, honestly, 2 to 3 minutes every time, she know what time she's supposed to be back at work.
Honestly, I'm so petty. I wouldn't even befriend nobody this late like that all the time, because that would annoy me. I'd be like, look, I can't be associated with you, because now I'm being in trouble too, because people, if they see me associated with you, now they gonna be out for me too, because they hate you.
Yeah.
Like, no.
Nah. I wouldn't have said nothing. It ain't got nothing to do with
I
me.
would have told him.
Especially if it ain't, like he's like, whoever this poster is said, it's not impacting him. So I'm like, then what I care for? That's her fault.
Because it eventually, it's an assembly line. It eventually will impact you.
Yeah. Then if that's the case, if it will eventually impact me, then I want her ass gone too.
Let's just nip it in the bud.
Nip it in the bud. Let's get out of here. Get her gone.
I can't help it. I'm like, you know what? I've said my piece, and if you get fired after that, hey, I warned you. I tried to help you, and that's the end of it. Like,
and then when she get fired and come telling me they fired her, and I ask her why, she say because they said I was 2 to 3 minutes late. My first question go, well, was you? Did you know what time you was supposed to get back?
Let me tell you, I had a coworker like that. So what she was doing was, because we weren't salary, but we did our time cards every week by just punching them in a little system. We didn't actually clock in and out, right? Her ass was showing up late, but not taking a reduced lunch, but putting on the time card that she showed up on time, which is time theft.
Yeah.
And so the manager was like, hey, just letting you know, I'm not clocking you, but my boss is clocking you. So if they come for you, I can't help you.
Dude, I tell my staff that all the time.
He told her this. He was like, hey, they watching you, right? So he was like, get your shit together and don't do that shit no more. Very nice of him, because he could have not said shit. What this dummy do? Continue to do it.
Well,
and of course she got fucking fired. And then she had the nerve to act like she was done wrong. And I was like, he literally warned you. Like, hey.
Like,
I don't know what to say.
I tell my staff that too. And I'm sorry, my staff only get the one warning.
That's it. That's all you can get.
I told them, I said, I genuinely do not give a fuck what you do. But I don't care what time you come to work. I don't care what time you go home. I don't care what days you take off. I told them I will never deny your PTO. Like, that's just not something I'm doing. I said, that is yours. Take it whenever you want. But I said, but the second something you were supposed to do didn't get done,
we got a problem.
We got a problem. I said, because do not think that I'm about to lay on the sword for some shit you knew you were supposed to do and didn't do. And I'm saying, and I told them, I said, I'm not even saying you had to be the one to get it done.
It just needs
but
to be
if
done by
it's
somebody.
Assigned to you, you need to manage your time off, your time away enough to either make sure that somebody is covering it, i.e. me,
or log in to do it real quick.
or log in and do it real quick. And I'm like, and I don't mind covering for you, but let me know that I need to cover for you. I'm like, so if you don't communicate and it ends up being late and somebody comes to me and say, hey, wasn't this person supposed to do that? I'm like, yep, they sure were. They sure were. And they didn't do it. And I will address that with them. And now you're in trouble. So I'm like, you're an adult. You have your workload. I am here to be a resource for you, meaning if you need my assistance, that is what I'm here for. But if you don't communicate that to me, how can I assist? So I'm like, so that's going to be on you. I'm not going to take the fall for it.
I don't get people like that, though. Like, if somebody flat out, the thing is, when people tell me some shit that sounds logical to me, I'm like, you know what? Valid point. Appreciate that. I mean, if they say, hey, just log in, because you salary, one, don't ever forget. You can log in real quick and send this. It'll take you 10 damn minutes to send this shit and go right on back to Cancun and your party.
Show exactly.
None the wiser.
But
do what you
and
do.
I think that's a fair trade, because what happens, my staff reached out to me a couple days ago. Hey, I'm not being productive, so I think I'm going to log off. And then she was like, I'll make up the time tomorrow. I immediately called and said, what are you trying to make up time for? Just log off. You're done. If you need to log off, go log off.
Making up time is when you actually have something to do.
Yeah, I'm like, if you are not in a place mentally where you can be productive, I would much rather have you log off and go take
then
some
fuck
mental...
everything up.
Yeah. Like, what are you trying to do all this? You're salaried. You're paid for the work you do, not the time you work. So as long as your shit is covered, why are you trying to make up time? You work more than 40 hours anyway. That almost always goes along with being salaried.
Just leave.
Just leave. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird. Maybe not all managers are like that, especially for salaried staff. I get it when it comes to hourly staff. You have to be a little more on top of what they're doing because you are paying them by the hour.
Because they're not getting paid by the task.
Exactly.
They're getting paid by the hour. So you got
salaried people are. You got to
maximize them hours.
Exactly. Salaried people are not typically getting paid for the number of hours they work. They're typically getting paid for what they produce while they're working, whether that took them 3 hours to do or 8 hours to or 12 hours to do. So, and I fully take advantage of that flexibility. A couple days ago, I logged off early. I said, you know what? I don't want to be online. I'm logging off. So I did. But I'm salaried, so
they contact me. I see it on my phone.
Yeah, I see it on my phone. And if something come up, my laptop is 5 steps away. Cool. Now, next week, when I go to the cabins, don't reach out to me. Period. Point blank.
Their reception is crappy out there. They ain't finna get in contact with you anyway.
Dude, I'm this close. I was literally just talking to Nate about getting a house phone. So I'm done. I'm done with cell phones. I'm gonna get a house phone.
You know what? You think you would like that?
I want a rotary phone.
You're gonna get annoyed with that real quick.
I want a rotary phone.
1, they loud as shit. 2, now you got something else you gotta charge.
Well, a house phone you ain't charging.
You don't want a wireless house phone?
Nah, I want a cord one.
Do you want that in theory or in application? Because
more theory than application. Yeah, more theory.
You want that wireless in application. So that way you don't gotta, but then I will say a wireless home phone is just a cell phone with limits.
Exactly. So then that's why I'm like, I want something that adds more limitation to me being on the phone.
Where you gonna put it? If you get...
Girl, I don't know. There's so much I want.
Or are you gonna do the old school near the couch on the coffee
no, that's
table?
Too close. I'm putting this in the most inconvenient spot that I could think of.
Girl, the art
probably on the wall next to the refrigerator.
Oh, yeah, that's a good phone spot. Oh, that's a 90s phone spot. I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
like that.
That way it's so inconvenient. You don't want to be on the phone all the time because there's nothing over there to sit on or just hang out and be on the
But this
phone
is what,
on.
but you do have that table with chairs near that
You
refrigerator.
mean that one chair? Because I don't know what I did with the other 3.
But it's there.
But it won't be for long because remember I'm going to change that.
I was like, ain't that gonna make me want to eat a snack?
Or maybe I should put it in the art room then. No, because I don't know. I'm not going to do it
'Cause
anyway.
that's
But I thought a
highly
rotary
inconvenient.
phone would be nice, would be fun.
Well, you know what? Just look up some. They got some really cute options now.
I know.
I low key want one of those little see-through ones, see-through ones they used to have.
The transparent phones, the
Where you
cordless
can see all the
one.
wires and shit.
Yeah, I used to have one of those. Actually, think at my
we
mother's.
all had one.
I think at my mother's house, there's a picture that I took of myself while I was on one, holding it with my shoulder in.
I want one that's like purple,
Uh-huh.
like a translucent purple.
Oh, take me back.
Remember those little robot dogs?
Take me to the king.
I don't have much to bring.
But yeah, I used to love being on the phone.
It used to be so fun. The 3-way call.
Can you imagine us in our 30s now? Just, I mean, I guess cell phones, but no, but actually on like an old school corded or cordless phone, just chatting it up.
Can't, because
I don't think we have the patience for it.
First of all, I live with people, and these people follow me around.
I've heard, yes.
I can't. You be on the phone, like had to never ask me was I at a party. But I'm telling you,
I didn't know 2 people could just make those sounds, so I thought that there was like at least 10.
No, there was 2 doing all that shit, and I told you how I keep my sanity in that place,
girl.
Cause I be sitting there trying to study, minding my own business. Jai is clingy. He's there.
Is he here? Because they're on summer break now, aren't they?
Mm-hmm.
Is he still with you or is he with his dad?
So he gonna be with me.
I knew it. I knew you was gonna cave. I knew you was
Nope.
gonna cave.
Nope. And then after next week, he gonna spend the rest of the summer with his daddy.
Either way, you caved.
What you mean?
Because you told me that he asked to stay with his dad the whole summer, and you told him yeah, and then he started to change his mind.
No, what happened was his grandma gonna be in Mexico for 2 weeks. That's why he ain't over there. That's the only reason he ain't over there. Because I'm sick of him. Because he the one that brought it up. No, because he the one that brought it up. He said, I want to stay with. He on the phone with his daddy trying to be cute, offering shit. And his dad's like, oh yeah, you can come, but of course. And then Susie got off the phone. I don't think I want to. No, little shit. No, you done told that man.
I said, Jay ain't gonna give in.
Oh,
he ain't gonna be there the whole summer.
And then I discover he going around telling everybody I'm taking him to Florida. I have never told him I'm taking him to Florida. He said, Mama, I want to go to Florida. I said, that's nice. And then he went around.
You might as well have said, yeah, pack a bag.
I said, oh, that's nice. I don't know about this year. Literally my words. He goes, oh, okay, I want to go to Florida. Girl, so his teacher sends this picture on their last day of school. Mm-hmm. It's a little board. They got their name, what they learned during the year, what they gonna do on summer vacation. You know what Jai put in that square for what are you doing this summer?
Going to Florida.
He said, going on vacation. Bitch, I never told him he was going anywhere.
Maybe his dad told him.
No one told him this. And so Evangel, he keeps seeing commercials for Kentucky Kingdom.
Oh no.
So now he going around, Kentucky Kingdom is open. Kentucky Kingdom open. May 29th, being an advertisement that he is. And I'm like, Evangelo, Kentucky Kingdom is open.
Is that like an amusement park?
Yes.
Okay.
Kentucky Kingdom is open. I would like to go to Kentucky Kingdom. When are we going to Kentucky Kingdom? Mom, Dad, Kentucky Kingdom is open.
No.
And he does that.
I was about to say, look, Evangelo, give it a rest.
he don't give shit a rest. He is an advertisement's dream. If he sees any fucking thing, he watches a commercial for Oreos. He walks right in the room. Mom, can we go to store and I get Oreos? Because he's seen a commercial for Oreos. He's literally the worst. He wants anything he sees on the advertisement. This is why Jai want to go to Florida. Because Jai was watching fucking Amazon and they got them fucking commercials.
Disney.
And no, Amazon. They got them damn commercials.
No, is it
no
advertised Disney?
It was just a Visit Florida commercial.
Oh shit. Okay.
And Jai's like, you know what? That seems
that
like
sounds
a
great.
time.
Let me go tell.
Let me tell them we going to Florida.
Let me go tell the servant.
Yeah, let me
go book us a trip to Florida.
With what money? I don't know. I am in nursing
let's not forget. He also told her that she's the help. In so many words.
He sure did. I forgot about that.
But speaking of Florida, me and Nate were actually just talking about going to Disney.
I ain't taking Jai to no Disney. I should maybe. Here's the
well,
thing.
I told Nate, and this is how we got on the topic. I was like, I said Jade wants to be a good parent. I said she don't want to go to Disney until she's taking her kids first. And I'm like, and I understand that. So I'm not going to force her to go with me without her kids. I said, but I also don't want to wait until some unknown time when she going to take her kids to Disney so that me and her can go and do Epcot around the world.
You going to go with Nate? What'd he say?
We're talking about it. We're thinking about it. We ain't decided yet.
It's just, only reason I don't want to go, it's not even the money. I'm thinking to myself, what these motherfucking kids gonna do when we get there? Are they gonna ruin my trip? What are we gonna do? It's gonna be hot.
Mm-hmm.
They spoiled. I'm hot.
I mean, we're the kids, so.
And then eventually, he's lazy. Oh, he gonna be dragging his feet, acting like he finna die. Cause he tired. And I'm like, you use your little legs. And then it's gonna be Victor. When we drinking, who gonna watch the kids?
Exactly.
Who gonna watch the kids?
That's why I was like, Victor would love to go do Epcot around the world.
I'm not being stuck with these kids while he drunk, throwing it in a circle, and I'm just with these kids.
You're not throwing it in a circle.
Victor be dancing.
Throw that ass in a circle.
And then what I'll be doing? Watching him throw it in a circle, and I'm sad, and I'm with the kids jealous. No,
that is.
He gonna send me a video with him at the DJ, and I'll be sitting there.
And then that leaves me in a spot because what am I supposed to do? I can't stay with you and the kids.
And
I can't go with Victor.
No, you would. You be over there, and y'all both be throwing it in a circle, just not on each other, and I will be very upset. And I'm like, this traitor ass bitch.
What am I supposed to do?
I know you and y'all both be.
And the craziest thing, you be mad knowing full well if it was reversed, you'd do the same thing to me.
And I would. I sure would.
You're like, sorry for you.
And you know I would. This is why we friends, because we both ain't shit. Because I would do the same shit. I'm like, well, sucks to be her.
Have fun, kiddos.
But I told you, I low-key thought about going without the ass. But then the mom guilt was like, you selfish bitch. You better not go.
I mean, because if it came down to who I went with, I'd much rather go with you.
Because we have a good ass time.
I think I'd have fun with Nate too, but it's a different kind of fun when you with your girls versus with your male friends.
Well, first of all, we already came up with an itinerary for our trip.
Literally.
We already did. And I'm like, I said, but would that be selfish? But then I said, because these kids would never let me live it down if they discovered.
Yeah, we wouldn't.
Because I low-key think they would enjoy Universal more. Mm-hmm. But, Disney is Disney.
And then also, I
do think they would enjoy Universal more.
If we went, I would want it to be me, you, and Victor.
And we can't go without these ashy-ass kids.
I know.
Even though one of them is just...
Not ashy-ass kids. What the hell is wrong with you?
They only wear lotion when I make them.
I do too.
Yeah, you've gotten better though.
I've gotten better.
I'm proud of you.
I mean, I'm a little ashy today, but it's okay.
It's not white, so I'm not upset.
Yeah, she gets really upset.
Because it's like, why are you in this house?
Anywho,
Covered with
so we're
lotion.
not gonna get back on this, so we will call it there.
Yeah.
Hopefully y'all had a good time just hearing us chatting about nothing. And that's what it is.
I low-key forgot about y'all for a second.
So with that, do the things like, comment, subscribe, and
Share
on YouTube, on the audio platforms. Make sure you like, comment, follow,
rate and review.
comment on both audio and YouTube. Spotify, Apple, Audible,
however you listen.
Which soon I guess is coming for video for those platforms too. I don't know, but hopefully.
We'll see.
But yeah, thank you guys for all of your support. Thanks for allowing us to come into your space. Thank you for hanging out with us every week as you do. And to the new people, thank you for hanging out with us too. Hopefully, we didn't deter you from, watching more, because you can. That's an option. This is like episode 83 or something.
We far in there.
And also real quick, want to make sure to give a shout out for Pride Month. Happy Pride Month to everyone. And with that, we will see you guys in the next one. Deuces.
Bye, friends.